Have you been thinking of how to slaughter and butcher your live chicken? Then you're in the right path. So let's ride on. Hello everyone, welcome to another beautiful video. As you can see in my hand, I have right here. Woo! What do we have here? I think this is cock. Looking at it, this is cock. So I want to show you I'm going to slaughter this cock, and I am going to put everything apart. So but first, before I go ahead, the first thing I'm going to do is a tradition that before you slaughter, you have to firstly give it water. So we usually give water before we slaughter. So let's take it start like this. This is how you place it. You hold the two legs, you hold the neck, then you add in your water, two or once, then you get your knife, and so it has been killed. As you can see, it's lifeless now. So I'm going to remove all the feathers from the chicken. The chicken is lifeless now, and you allow the blood to drain. After the blood has drained, the next thing you're going to do is you put your water on it. So by the time when I was about killing, I've already put my water on it. And once the water boils, then you add the water to the lifeless chicken. And once you add your hot water, automatically the feathers are going to be wet, soaked with hot water. Then you can pull out the feathers. So in this process, it's going to be very easy for you to pull out the feathers since you've added hot water. And you do this in doing this, you don't want to pull out the skin with the feathers at the same time. So if you don't want that to achieve that, you don't put your lifeless chicken inside a boiling pot. If you do that, by the time you want to remove the feathers, the skin is going to pull out with the feathers. So all you just need is you make sure that you add your hot water, your boiled water, and add it to the lifeless chicken. So with that, all you just need to remove is the feathers from the skin, and you're still going to have the chicken skin intact. So that is what we are doing right now. If you're watching and you've not subscribed, please do well to subscribe to Ojolakwe. And if you're my returning subscribers, I say thank you for your love, for always supporting Ojolakwe, especially in this vlogmas. You guys, you've shown me so much love. I say thank you. And once you're done pulling out your feathers, you want to take care of everything you've used. So that's what I usually do. Immediately I'm done pulling out the feathers, I make sure I clean up so that everywhere is going to be tidy and I won't have a messy place for me to go. Now we'll move to the pieces of the cheeks. So I'm going to start from the leg. From the leg, it has a joint. So this particular joint, you're just going to locate it. You don't need a knife to cut hard. You just take a simple step to do this. So you locate that edge. That's the part I'm touching now. This it's more or less like their knee, and you use your knife, just cut around the whole portion. Just cut it around that particular section. Cut it around and just bend it. You see, it's so easy to break. You don't need force, and you just have to cut out the vein that is holding it, attaching it to the other part. Once you've done it for one side, you have to repeat it for the other side. And so it's something that is so easy that you can do. It doesn't stress you at all. So the same process go for this other side. And once you have removed it, then we go to the body. Now I'm starting from, I'll make sure I cut out the head. Now it's not the neck this time around because the head is different from the neck. So I'll cut out the head because of I want it to be neatly cut. Then I'll move to the lap. The lap side, you just stretch it apart. Now, when I was growing up, I was made to know that two people cannot slaughter chicken. I don't know if you've had that when you're growing up. You can put it in the comment section. So it's mainly done by just one particular person. So you start from the lap and just have to remove it. All you just need is cut round. There's a bow that is attaching the lap to the body. So once you cut the flesh, the bone is easy to remove. So it's an easy process to remove that particular portion. And once you've removed it, then you go to the other side of the fowl. You see it's neatly cut. You don't need too much stress. You just put your knife on that part there. I'm trying to show the video in such a way that you can see so clearly. So you can do this at home yourself. You don't need to start looking around and start calling anybody to come and do this for you. Then you just separate it round. You just use your knife, just cut around that portion. It's just a bone, that links the lap to the body. So once you can cut that part, that's cut out the meat surrounding that bone, then you're going to see the bone is going to expose, and from there you're going to cut it off. Then from there you now move to the wings. The wings you just take side, because I like separating it in this way. I want by the time I'm taking out the intestine, I want everything to have been separated. I don't want to have the parts intact, then I'll start removing the intestine. I don't like it that way. I prefer this particular method. This is what I've been using for years, and I find it so easy from this process to pieces my chicken. So you remove the wings. That is the two wings. I'll remove them, and that one too is the same method the way you did the lap, because this particular one you just need your knife to cut round. It's just the bone that is attaching the wings also to the body, so you cut it out. So once I'm done with that, I will now go to the back, that one that is very close to the back. Then that is the chest. I'll separate the chest. I'll cut it out. Now I've cut it out. After I've cut it out, I will now look for something. I'll firstly move. It has been totally cut off, so I will locate the intestine. This time you're not going to pull out everything just once. It takes a gradual process. So I start from the inside, that is the esophagus, that is from the neck side, that is attaching it to the head. I pull that out, then I started pulling out. Now you take a little step. Don't rush yourself in this process. You don't rush yourself, because you know the chicken has a pie, and that pie you don't want it to drop inside the meat. Once it drops inside the meat, it's as well as the meat is wasted. So I try as much as possible. You have to pull it out gradually with little force. You don't rush it, and you just make sure that everything is completely pulled out. Can you see? Then I'll trace it down to the anus. That is the back, that back. Then I'll pull everything. So once everything has been pulled, my chicken meat is safe. Then I'll now deal with the intestine. Now this is the gizzard, and when I was also growing up, I was made to know that for this gizzard, you don't just open it like this. I don't know if you have heard of all what I'm sharing in here. This is Africa, and this is how we do it. This is the gizzard. I have the gizzard. Then one thing you have to be conscious is the pie. That is the pie, the one that looks like is green. So you have to be sure it's always attached to the liver. So you have to be so careful to make sure that you firstly make sure that you cut out the liver, separate the liver. And when you're cutting out the liver, you have to be extraordinarily careful, because the liver is usually very close to that pie. And once you in a little form utter the pie and it touches the intestine or the chicken meat, then everything will get bitter. That is the main reason I said everything is just going to be a waste. Now this is our gizzard. To open this gizzard, we breathe on it 3 times. That is, we move it so close to our mouth and breathe on it 3 times before we cut it open. And once it has been cut open, if you want me to share it, the reason why they breathe on it thrice before they open it is just, if you know it, put it in the comment section. Let me not just share it now. Let me just hold on a bit and see those that are those Africans, Nigerians, Yorubas that understand when you are killing and you're trying to pieces your live chicken. So once you're done with that, then you go to the cutting of the body. This is the last stage of your parts piecing of your chicken. The back is usually very hard. You have the bone there. So to cut the parts, I use the back of the knife, not the sharp side this time around. The back of the knife, what I would just say, I would just use it to bang it so hard so that it will weaken the backbones, the bones there. It will see. That's why I will hit it severally. So the bones there is going to be weakened. It's going to be pieces, and it will now be so easy for me to now cut through. No matter how it depends. If your live chicken is not that old, it can be so easy to go. But if you have like 2-3 years, the bones will be very, very strong, and you can use this method without if you don't have axe or cutlass to hit. You just want to use your knife all through. Just use this process. You're going to get your chicken separated. And so we are done. I'm going to get now. This is our gizzard. The gizzard, like we all know, contains the grinding. That's where it grinds its food, and you don't just wash it off. There's a layer. That first layer you're going to pull off. It's so easy. You don't need anything. You don't need to add anything to pull off the layer. You just take it out. It's just like nylon type. You just pull it out, separate it from the main gizzard. It's going to come out, and once you've done that, you have separate your gizzard. Your gizzard is clean. So this is our chicken into pieces. So actually I'm spicing it up to bake, that is to roast my chicken. So these are chicken. I'm roasting my chicken, and the chicken is ready. Thank you so much for watching today's video. See you in my next video. Bye.